All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thursday. We have a great training for you guys today. We are going to be featuring market statistics, all about consumer data and the market stats. We're going to be using several of the different programs available to us. And as you notice, we are recording our class. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. This is a great class. As realtors, we must know how to describe the market. We must know what the market is doing and how to let our buyers and sellers know the real facts, not what you see on the news, not what you read online, but the real facts. And then, of course, we are going to tap into RPR towards the end of the class and show you a feature that allows you to look at consumer data. So those of you that have maybe commercial clients and you're looking to find out where the best opportunities are for your commercial clients, RPR, hands down, provides the best data possible. All right, guys. So if you have any questions throughout our presentation, please feel free to unmute yourselves, ask questions, ask on the chat, and we are going to get started. And good morning to everyone on the chat. You guys are all saying good morning. So thank you again so much for joining us. All right, so we are, of course, logged into our Miami Realtors Gateway. And those of you that are new, this is where you normally log into all of your services, right? You begin by going to miamirealtors.com, correct? And you're going to always click on the Miami Gateway, and you're going to get logged in, and you're going to have access to this page right here. We are going to open up the MLS, which is called Matrix, right? And later on, we're going to use a tool from the Florida Realtors called Sun Stats. And we are going to be using RPR as well, which is from your National Association of Realtors. So you have a local tool, which is the MLS. Then you have a statewide tool, which is SunStats. And then we are going to use a national resource, which is RPR. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with Matrix. And I want to show you some tricks to finding out statistic information, right? So first thing you guys are going to stare at is up here. And of course, you have the word stats, right? And if you want to know how the market is behaving for any neighborhood, for any zip code, for any city, even for an entire area, like a whole county, you can do so by clicking on stats. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click on stats. Now, on the left-hand side, you will see your system presets. These are default reports that you guys can run, and those defaults were created by Matrix. You guys can always create your own. However, I'm going to show you how to pull some of the presets. So we have here active days on market versus list median price, right? Then we have over here historic count of active listings. We have historic sales by year. And we have historic sales price trends. And we have others, right? We're going to go ahead and begin with active listings. We want to know how the inventory is for single family homes in all of Miami-Dade County. So we're going to go ahead and click on single family home, and then we're going to click on Miami-Dade County. Of course, guys, you can run a map search. You can run a radius search around a particular address. You can run this type of statistic search for any area, zip code, subdivision, or city. We're going to do this for all of Miami-Dade County in any price range. I just want to know how much inventory there is in all of Miami-Dade County for a single family home. So let's go ahead and click on generate. All right, so we're going to wait a few seconds and we're going to see our results coming up shortly. All right, a little longer than a few seconds. Of course, we're running a report for an entire county. All right, so while we wait, do you guys think it's going to be high inventory for single family homes or low inventory? Where are we in relation to the last 10 years? All right, any guess? This is taking a little long. There it is. All right. So you guys were not quick enough to guess, but here are the results. And this is going back 5 years, right? January 2019 through January of 24. Now taking a look, we were up here over 8,000 single family homes for sale back in January of 2019. Then, of course, during the pandemic, we took a huge hit in our inventory. It was an extreme seller's market. At one point, we were well below 4,000 listings active in Miami-Dade County. And then we are going to move up a little bit and then come back down and then moving up again. Now, if you want to see those numbers for the last 10 years, go to customize and then come over here to where it says time frame and let's click on past 10 years, right? You can go for any particular year, past 5 years or past 10 years. The MLS does not keep data further than 10 years. So let's click on 10 years. Let's click on generate. And what are we looking at now? All right. Now, of course, we are looking at a chart. I will show you the data as soon as we're done looking at the 10-year chart. You know, when you're doing a report for an entire county, it does take quite a bit of time. It's computing all the numbers together. So let's be patient here. This is important because we need to know exactly how we're trending. Are we trending towards a seller's market or a buyer's market? You're going to be hearing this a lot during our training today. Anywhere between 0 to 3 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. 4, 5, or 6 months of inventory is considered a balanced market. And then anywhere from 7 to 7 plus months of inventory is considered a buyer's market. So we had roughly 12,000 listings, right? 11,112 listings back in January of 2014. And we've dropped all the way down to 4,000 listings. So we have 10,000 listings less in today's market than what we had 10 years ago. So yeah, inventory has dropped quite a bit. Now, if you want to see the data, you're going to go ahead and click on data up here, and we are not going to see the data. So it's going back, as you guys can see here, all right, 11,000. So in 2014, or the highest point of listings was here, 11,284. In 2022, which is when we experienced the lowest amount of listings we had at any given time in Miami-Dade County, we had 3,311 active listings, guys, in 2022. Currently, in March of this year, because April's not finished yet, right? In March of this year, we're up to 4,630 listings. So let's take a look at March. 7,400 down to 4,200, down to 3,300, up to 4,300, and now up to 4,600. So there is a steady climb from 3,300, the lowest point. Then we went up 1,000 listings, and then we went up another 300 listings. And I'm just computing the numbers for March. You guys can do the percentages, right? So this is for all of Miami-Dade County. Now, if you want to switch over to condos, it's quite simple. Come over here to where it says search and just switch over to condo. And then click on generate, and how many condos do we have currently in the market in Miami-Dade County? We are going to be looking at the sales volume as well, and we are also going to be looking at the sales prices. So when you have clients that, read online or they listen to the news and they're telling you that the prices are going down, you're going to be able to confirm with them and educate them on the true market value, and are the prices really going down or are they still climbing? And we will see that very shortly. So when it comes to condos, we were above 15,000 available units. And once again, during the pandemic, you guys all know everyone moved to Florida, everyone moved to South Florida. Our inventory went down drastically, and it's been climbing ever since 2022. So looking at the data here, we currently have 10,249 condos. How many condos were available back in March of 2022? 6,831. So when you put that into relation, when you relate that to the single family home market, we only increased by 300, remember? I think it was like from 4,300 to 4,600. Not the case here. We went from 7,900 to 10,249. So we increased by more than 2,000 condos from one year to the other. All right. So there's definitely an increase in inventory of condos in the last couple of years. Okay. The highest point for availability in condos was sometime in the years 2015 and 2016. I see a couple of 17,000 markers here. So that was pretty much the highest point in inventory in the last 10 years. Now, all of this data you guys can print over here on the left-hand side, or you can email it, okay? Now, we're going to come over here and click on presets. I want to show you now the historic sales by year. All right, historic sales by year. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and we're going to click on generate. We are trying to find the volume of sales. Now, 2024 is just beginning, so we don't have 2024 over here. But if you want to include year to date, you're going to go to customize, and we're going to click on year to date 2024, and we're going to click on generate. So you guys will see here that in January of 2024, there were 811 condo sales, and that's down from the previous years. In 2022, there were 1,763 condo sales in January, down to 883 in 2023, and now down to 811 in 24. Same thing goes with February, same thing goes with March, and so far, through what, 10 days in April, we're at 329 sales, right? I mean, today's the 11th of April, but it's very early in the morning. So through 10 days of April, we are at 329 sales. All right, so it's trending where there's less sales. There's many reasons, right? Many factors that can maybe attribute to this. Of course, you have the interest rates, right? I mean, they're a little bit high in reference to how interest rates were in 2021 and even 2022. All right. But it also means that there's less cash buyers coming in. I mean, there's just, there's a lot of things going on, or maybe people are moving back to their, where they came from during the pandemic. Who knows? All right. Now, let's go ahead and show you the single family home, right? And what's the single family home volume? You're just going to go back to search, going to click on single family home, click on generate, and let's take a look at the data. So we had 682 sales. So we sold more condos than single family homes in January of this year. And that was, of course, a little bit more than 2023. So it's not a downward trend. It's actually an upward trend from the previous year. February has a slight increase also. All right. In March, we have a slight decrease, and we are currently standing at 269 sales through 10 days of April. Okay. Guys, you can export this into a CSV file right here in a spreadsheet by clicking on Export CSV. Now, coming over here, we're going to go ahead and go to presets, and we're going to do one more, and that's historic price trend. We're going to go ahead and click on historic price trend. We're going to click on generate. All right, so let's take a look at the prices. Are prices going down in general in Miami-Dade County? You know, when you hear that, what's the median price of a home in Miami-Dade County, this is what it's going to tell us. So this is where you get those numbers. The median sales price for a single family home in all of Miami-Dade County, not the average. We try not to do the average. The average, you want to reserve the average sales price for a smaller area, like maybe a subdivision, right? But when you're doing an entire area like Miami-Dade County, you definitely want to go with median. All right. So 10 years ago, the median price was, actually that's the average. So let's switch it over to median. You know how to do that? All right. Instead of looking at average, we're going to go ahead and come over here to where it says customize. And the secondary statistic, we're going to switch it from sales price average to sales price median. And then this is the number of active listings. I actually want to look at the sales volume. All right, so sales volume. Let's go number of sales. Number of sales. All right, and let's click on generate. Let's take a look at the first column is going to be the number of sales. The second column is going to be the median price. Guys, the average price is always going to be higher. Keep in mind that we have lots of properties that sell over $1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and that's going to put it, it's going to increase the normal price of a home. So when you're looking at the median, you're actually looking at the middle. All right, so if you guys remember when I had the average price, you would see the average price here, and it was higher. You know what? I could compare both. I could do this. Go to customize. For statistic number one, let's go with sales price median. And statistic number two, let's go with sales price average. All right. Let's take a look at that one. All right, because we can look at the sales volume, but I think this is a good barometer. So the median price for a single family home in 2014 was $225,000. Look at the increase. Look at the increase through the years, right? And where do we stand today, guys? Unbelievable. The median price for a single family home in Miami-Dade County is now up to $650,000. It is the highest it has ever been in the last 10 years. And I don't quite remember it being so high, even through the years of 2004, 2005. I don't quite remember it being this high. So it is pretty much at the highest point that I've ever seen in Miami-Dade County for a single family home. Where are we with average prices? Well, we started 10 years ago at $408,000, and it's gone up and down during the last year. As you can see, the average prices, I mean, if I go back to January 2023, it was $1 million. Slightly less, up, and we're at 1,086,000. So once again, the average price is not really something you want to take a look at. You want to take a look at the median price. Now, let's say your area is Coral Gables. Oh, it's very simple. Then you just come up here, click on search. And instead of doing all of Miami-Dade County, now you want to focus on a city. And you're going to come here and you're going to put in Coral Gables. You're going to click on generate. And the median price in Coral Gables, take a look at the median price. 10 years ago, $615. Today, it's $1.7 million. Now, can you tell me if the median price in Coral Gables has gone down? Right? So from December and January, it has. It went down to 1.5, then 1.7. All right. But, we've had a few spikes in the median sales price. We had a few spikes. We had a 2.2 over here. We had a 2 million here. We had a 2 million here, a 2 million and a 2 million, and then back down to its normal. All right. So I can't really say with confidence that the prices are going down. I could just say that the prices are holding steady. They really are just holding steady. All right. And then guys, you want to put this into a spreadsheet so you can put year, month, next to each month, and you can then compare the months and see if year over year prices are going up or down. So how, I would do this obviously by clicking on export to CSV, sorry. But March of 24, 1.7. March of 23, 1.7. March of 22, 1 point almost 9 million. So from 22 to 24, you can consider that the prices are going down in Coral Gables. How was March of 21? March of 21 was 1.3. So we went up from 1.3 to its high peak for March of almost 1.9, and then down to 1.7 pretty much for the last 2 years. This is how you start to learn how the market is behaving in any city, zip code, neighborhood using the statistic report up here. Any questions on what we just did? Guys, any questions? You can unmute yourselves, ask before we move away from here.
No, for
No, you
me.
good? Awesome, awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and learn how to identify how the market is behaving. Is it a seller's market or a buyer's market? How much inventory do we have? You guys may be familiar with this report. You're gonna go to more and you're gonna go to market reports. The reason why I say you may be familiar with this report is because um, it's an inventory analysis. And if you've ever worked at a store or you've owned your own business and you've taken inventory and you know how to compute those numbers, it's the same thing, just we're doing it for real estate now. All right. And we're gonna go ahead and pull what's called the market conditions report, which is this one right here, 1004 MC. Now, again, you can do this for the entire county. I would not recommend that you do this for an entire county. You can do it for a city, a zip code, an area, subdivision, a building, however you like. All right. What you need to do is you need to mark active and you need to mark closed sales and you need to go back 365 days. So take a screenshot of this. This is very important. In order for this report to work, you need to mark active and you need to mark 0 to 365 days closed sales. We're going to begin with single family home and we're going to go right to the city of Coral Gables, just like we were before. All right, so for city, we're going to put in here Coral Gables. And we're simply going to hit generate report. Nothing else. We don't have to put a price range or anything. All right. So here is our market conditions report for Coral Gables. All right, taking a look at the first column, that's going to go from April 12th of last year through October 9th of last year. The middle column goes from October 10th of last year through January 9th of this year. And then the last column here goes through January 10th of this year through today's date, April 11th. All right. So the first line is the number of sales. All right. So let's just concentrate on the last 6 months. So we had 56 total sales of single family homes in Coral Gables in a 3-month period, pretty much for the last quarter of 2024. Well, we have now increased our total sales to 83 in the first quarter of this year. Okay. Now, the second line is what's called your absorption rate, the total sales per month divided by the number of months. So we were selling 18.6 properties per month in Coral Gables for the last quarter of 23. In the first quarter of 24, we are now up to 27.6 sales per month. So as you can tell, the volume of sales has increased in Coral Gables. Okay. Now your inventory goes from 53 active listings up to 99 active listings, now up to 178 active listings. So more homeowners are placing their properties on the market. Okay. Therefore, it's increasing our months of inventory. It is now up to 6.5 months of inventory. We started our study at less than 2 months of inventory. Oops, sorry about that. Let's go back over here. So we started our study pretty much at a seller's market. And then we quickly transition into a balanced market, right? You can see the trend. It's not yet a buyer's market, but definitely advantage buyer. Definitely the buyer has options. There's inventory to choose from. Okay. That normally is going to lead to a price decrease. Take a look at these sales prices from 1,840,000 now down to 1,750,000. So nearly $100,000 decrease in the median sales price. Properties in Coral Gables are taking 34 days on the market to sell. Now, guys, the list prices haven't really changed much from 3,850,000 down to 3,825,000. So the active list prices have not reflected the fact that we're entering a buyer's market. The sales prices, however, have. And if you take a look down here, all right, this means that the properties that sold, those 56 properties that sold up here, they sold at 96.2% of the original price. So basically at a 4% discount. And for the last quarter or the first quarter of 24, properties are selling at 94.5% of the original list price, or at a 5.5% discount. Okay, so when you have a buyer looking to buy a single family home in Coral Gables, all right, they can expect to pay 5% less than the original price of the listing. And then if you're representing a seller, you need to expect that if you list above market value, you can expect to have to lower your price or counter the offers that come in and somewhat agree at selling right around 95% of your original price. Reading this, understanding this helps you work with your buyers and sellers, identifying how the market is behaving and explaining to them, the situation, whether it be a buyer or seller, how aggressive to be with your list price or how aggressive to be with your offer price. Okay. Now I'm going to take this one step further. We're going to go ahead and close this out. And this time, let's say that we work the luxury market in Coral Gables. All right. For price, we're going to put in $1 million or more. I think every house in Coral Gables is worth $1 million or more. So it really isn't going to change. So let's bring that up to the ultra luxury. Let's go $5 million or more. All right, let's go 5 million or more. Click on generate. All right, so in this market, you're looking at a 27 months of inventory, almost 28. All right, inventory has gone from 21 active listings to 38 to now 65 active listings. Sales volume, you had 5 sales in the last quarter of 23, and now we have 7 sales in the first quarter of 24. That's 2.3 sales per month. You divide 7 by 3 and you get 2.3. We have 65 active listings. So at a pace of 2.3 sales per month, it's going to take us more than 2 years to clean all of our inventory. That's what months of housing supply means, right? We have enough inventory to last us 27.8 months. Unless something drastic happens, right? Unless a lot of buyers start buying up the properties and or a lot of these listings start to come off the market. So it's going to take us more than 2 years to burn through all this inventory. Now take a look down here. The price has increased. I don't know why I keep on doing that. The price has increased to 11,150,000 from $6 million. So apparently there's been a lot of activity right now in the ultra luxury market in Coral Gables. And these are sales prices, median sales prices. So I'd be curious to go back and see, what homes sold in Coral Gables that drives the price so high. Look at the list price though, however. The list price goes from 14.9 million down to 11.9 million. So you're definitely looking at a reflection of, hey, look, there's too much inventory. We should lower our list prices to get our properties sold quicker. Maybe you don't work the luxury market. Maybe you work a different market. Let me show you something. I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in here 750,000 or less. And then let's move over to say, oh my God, Miami Lakes. Let's go to Miami Lakes. All right, let's go ahead and click on generate. So for homes less than $750,000 in Miami Lakes, it paints a different picture, doesn't it? We've got a client, their max budget is 750, and those properties are flying off the shelves. In Miami Lakes. Those properties, and the reason why I went to Miami Lakes again, guys, because there's very little homes in Coral Gables for under $1 million. I could have done that, and I'll do that actually. But take a look, the Miami Lakes numbers. For less than $750,000, you're consistently in a seller's market situation. So if you are getting ready to list your property in Miami Lakes, you have no competition. You can ask for a very high list price or asking price, and typically buyers are going to buy it because it's a hot area and people want to move into Miami Lakes at that price range. Look at the difference when I go 750 or more. There's going to be a difference, guys. There's going to be a difference. So if I go 750 or more, how does the market behave now in Miami Lakes? You see the difference? All right. Now, instead of having less than 2 months of inventory, we have 6.5 months of inventory. So the majority of the inventory that flies off the shelves in Miami Lakes is below 750. And the inventory that takes longer to sell, the inventory that causes, that clog in the market is the one over 750. I'm curious. I'm going to go back over here and we're going to go and switch this to $1 million or less. And let's go back to Coral Gables, right? Let's go back to Coral Gables here. Let's click on generate report. And where are we in Coral Gables for $1 million or less? So you've got a client that say, I really want to live in Coral Gables. Well, guess what? All right, it's the same, guys. These are the properties that sell the fastest and there is less inventory. So you have only 10 active listings, less than $1 million in all of Coral Gables, and they're selling 3.5 properties per month. You have 2.7 months of inventory. And the prices are holding steady right around $900,000. Okay. So I'm going to do one more, guys. That's going to be your condo market. All right. That's going to be your condo market. I'm going to go ahead and remove the price. Let's remove the city and let's go to zip codes 33129, comma, 33130, comma, 33131. These are the 3 zip codes for the area of Brickell in Miami. Okay, so 33132 is downtown Miami. You can include that one too. Let's go ahead and do that one too. All right, so all four of these zip codes is the areas of Brickell and downtown Miami. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to condo right here. Keep everything else the same. And how's the condo market in Brickell and downtown? You know, let's take a look. You're gonna see an increase in inventory, a huge increase in inventory. Take a look, guys. So if you had a buyer or if you had a seller a year ago, you were hovering right over a seller's market. You had 3.5 months of inventory. You had very little inventory, 637. Well, guess what? We're up now to 1,543 active listings. That's almost a year of inventory. That's 11.75 months of inventory. However, the sales prices have not reflected that change. We went from 610 to 640 for the median sales price. The active listings or the current listings that are on the market, that price has decreased. 785, 775, 745. Guys, for those of you that are new, all right, one way to sell your property quicker in a buyer's market is to lower your list price. You're going to see that when it is a buyer's market, you're going to see the list price trend downward. You have sellers who are going to look at their building and they're going to look at the minimum price and the max price of the active listings. And if they are motivated and they need to sell quicker, they're going to sell somewhere around the middle, right? Not too close to the high and definitely not the highest because they're going to probably stay on the market for some time. So you're going to see list prices tumble when we are in a buyer's market, which is what we are for a condo in downtown Miami or Brickell. Let me tell you, these numbers were well below 3 months of inventory during 21 and 22, right? Everyone was moving to Miami. Everyone was buying condos. There was no inventory. All right, so these are the numbers. And then, of course, this increase of inventory is also taking into account all new developments, all new buildings that have placed their inventory on the market. Okay, so maybe a lot of these are not resales. Maybe they're new condo units that are available. You can do the same thing for, say, Sunny Isles. Sunny Isles, 33160. Right? And let's click on generate report. Let's take a look at Sunny Isles. All right, so Sunny Isles, we went from 4.5 months to 8.5 months, and now to 16.5 months in inventory. We went from 524 active listings up to 1,475 active listings. Okay, so pretty cool numbers here, and it's a very good indication. Take a look at the list prices in Sunny Isles, guys. 670, 670, 610. So prices going down. Of course, that's not the luxury prices. If I come over here and say a million plus, where are we with a million plus? Let's take a look. This is going to be quite different. All right. We have sales prices 1.8, 2.2, almost 1.8. And we're pretty much holding steady at 1 year's month of inventory. And our list prices haven't really reflected what the market is doing. 2 million, 2.2, and even higher at 2,350,000. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of confusing, obviously. But you know that there is plenty of inventory in Stony Isles for condos over $1 million. All right. Guys, please use this. Use this. It's more market reports and market conditions. And I don't want to, I'm not, this is not part of our class, but if you guys wanted to go and look at inventory reports, if you want to look at your production, you can go here, click on agent production, enter your license number, and see what your production is. And you can do ranking reports. You can rank yourself within our office. You can rank yourself within our city or even our county. All right, so there's a lot more that you guys can do there. I'm gonna go ahead and switch focus. If you noticed in the MLS, I was doing these numbers locally. What if we wanted to go, say, Tampa, Orlando, or anywhere else in Florida? You're gonna go to SunStats. And SunStats is this little feature. I lost it. There. All right. That little feature right there, that's SunStats. You're going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to log you in here. This is through your Florida Realtor. So now this has access to all of Florida. Okay. I'm going to run this for a city outside of Florida. You already saw this for Miami-Dade County. Not outside of Florida, sorry, outside of our area. You already saw it for Miami-Dade County. So we're not going to show you Dade or Broward. I'm going to come over here. All right. And we're going to change. And we're going to come here and we're going to put in Tampa. All right. Now you can do the city of Tampa, or you can do a zip code, or you can do the entire area known as Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater. All right. So that would be this entire area right there. We can do this report for single family homes, townhomes, condos, manufactured homes. Let's go with single family homes, hit apply. All right, guys, numbers in Tampa read like this. 3,024 closed sales in February of 24. That is slightly lower, I mean, ever so slightly lower than the previous year. Pretty much no change at all. There were 819 cash sales. That's a slight increase from the previous year. Okay. The median price in Tampa is now up to 405,000. That's a 3.8% increase over the previous year. The average price in Tampa is up to $500,000, and that's 4.6% increase. The dollar volume of sales is up to $1.5 billion. That again is a 3.8% increase over the previous year. All right. In Tampa, we're looking at a 2.8 month of inventory. So Tampa is still considered, in general, that entire area, a seller's market. Okay? A seller's market. If you come over here and you switch this to the Orlando area, again, you can go with the city of Orlando or the entire area known as Orlando, Kissimmee, and Sanford. All right, so this is the entire area right there. Click on apply. All right, we had less sales in this area than in Tampa. And our dollar volume from 1.5, we went down to 1.2 billion in Orlando area. And in the Orlando area, we're still holding steady at 2.8 months of inventory. So it's pretty much the same as Tampa. However, Tampa does have more dollar volume and more sales volume. All right. And then let's just compare that to Miami-Dade County. All right. So we're going to go Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, this entire area right there. We're going to click on apply. Notice, guys, the Tampa area had more sales in February of 24, all right, than February of, the Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach, and Broward County, right, had less sales than Tampa in February of 24. That's crazy. You would think our area is larger, and it is, but that Tampa area is booming. And we have a dollar volume, however, of 2.5 billion, a billion more than the Tampa area. And we're looking at a 4.2 months of inventory. All right, so we are definitely past that seller's market and into a more regular balanced market. Remember, 4, 5, or 6 months is a normal balanced market. Okay. And that's what we're looking at here, guys. So use this. You can print this. You can create infographics for your social media postings through here. And you can use this to identify how the market is behaving throughout all of Florida. Okay. Now let's go into RPR, guys. This is one of my favorite tools, for many reasons, but for stats and for consumer data is going to be pretty great. So we're going to go ahead and open up RPR. Now, just like SunStats, RPR is also available statewide, but we're going to take it a step further. RPR is available nationwide. So you can go and study any city or state in all of the US using RPR. Okay, so we're going to do two things. We're going to look at the market trends, and then we're also going to go into the commercial consumer data. So let's go ahead and click on market trends here. All right. And, if you're new to RPR, it's going to want to guide you through this, right? You can click on that and you can go and click on, okay, show me, and it's going to go there. But if you're not new and you know what you're doing, you can always come over here to research, and you're going to go ahead and research market trend report, right? You're going to do that. So for those of you that are new, you want to follow that little guided tour. Otherwise, you can just come over here and say, all right, I have a client who's very interested in the city of Weston. All right, we're going to click on Weston, the city of Weston. So right away, I know that the median sales price in Weston is $850,000. I also know they're selling at 97% of the original price. And here it's telling us in Weston, we're looking at 2.7 months of inventory. The median estimated value, this is not the median sales price, this is the median estimated value in Weston is $767,000. Look at the difference between the median estimated values of a home versus the median sold price over the last, I believe this is taken over the last year. Okay. So we have here the median estimated value, and that's a 1.6% change over the last month. And guys, in Weston, that's an 8.6% increase over the last year. So you cannot say that property values in Weston are going down. It's showing you right here, it's going up. It went up in the last month, and it went up in the last 12 months. Okay, and you can follow along here, and you can see the blue line is Weston. This dark orange line is Broward County. This lighter orange line is Florida, and this red line is the US. So Weston, is, more valuable. The properties are valued more than its counterparts. Okay, you got new listings here. There's 119 properties active for sale in Weston. That's 1.7% more than the previous month. The median price per square foot in Weston is $406 a square foot. The total volume of listings in Weston is $132 million. And the median square foot living area of a home in Weston that's for sale is 2,276 square feet. Guys, go through these numbers, right? You got the sold numbers here. So median sold price, how many sales, right? Days on the market. They're selling at $380 a square foot, and the sold volume is $66 million. You got your months of housing supply. All right, so over the last month, we had a decrease of 9.5%. However, over the last year, we had an increase of 9.5%. Okay, all of this in Weston, you guys can pull out. Now, if you want to share this data, you can come over here where it says share, and you can share this data right here. You have what it's going to look like, and you can download it to your computer, or you can share it on social media platforms like Facebook, X, which is Twitter, LinkedIn, and then you can click on more and you can download a JPEG, which is an image, or PNG, which is also an image. Guys, this is how you pull residential market trends in RPR. Now, to go to the consumer data part, which is a very cool tool, you're going to go up here to where it says residential. And we're going to go ahead and click on consumer site selections. All right, let's click on that. All right, so let's say you have a client that is interested in the city of Doral, right? Let's start here. What's the broad area you want to search? Let's go with the city of Doral. Okay, so Doral, Florida. Number two, find people using spending and demographic data. Okay, we're gonna come over here and let's say we've got a commercial client, right? And they're looking to open a restaurant. And they want to see where in Doral do people spend most of their money dining out. So we can go with who they are, what they do, what they live, what they buy, right? Facts and stats. Let's go with what they buy. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to click on dining out. You have total expenditures, alcoholic beverages, apparel. So apparel, let's say you're looking to open up a shoe store, right? Then you want to know who buys apparel and who's buying shoes. Right now, let's just do dining out. And then you have all dining out. You have all dining out at restaurants. You have restaurants for lunch, restaurants for dinner, restaurants for snacks, and then breakfast. Let's just go with all dining out. And let's go ahead and click on OK. All right. And now let's click on Run Analysis. All right. So this is the Doral city limits that you see here. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to see that in Doral, on average, people are spending $4,841 dining out on a yearly basis. That doesn't seem like a lot, right? I mean, this is only taking into account what is spent with credit cards. All right, with credit cards. So $4,841 divided by 12 months, that's $403 a month dining out. Okay. Now we have over here all dining out. We're going to go ahead and go from little to average. All right. And it's only giving us this. Now that's okay, right? That's okay. We're going to go back over here to site selection. And we're going to switch this from Doral to say zip code 33178. All right. Now we're going to go back to run analysis and take a look. All right. So this is zip code 33178. Watch. We're going to go from little to lots. All right. And we have over here, once again, the entire neighborhood of Doral at 4841. Now, geography, you have minor neighborhoods, micro, and census blocks. So intermediate neighborhood, minor neighborhood, right? Which neighborhood spends the most? We have over here Doral Isles at $5,615. And then you have this one over here called Pelmat Industrial Park in Medley at $5,305. And then this one here, Doral Park in Doral at $5,244. So this area right here, if you guys are getting ready to open a restaurant, you definitely want to promote your restaurant to this area because they are the highest spenders when it comes to dining out. Remember, whenever you dine out at a restaurant and you pay with your credit card, your credit card is registered to your home address. And this is how they know that these people here spend on average $5,600 a year dining out. That doesn't include people who spend cash dining out. Only people who use their credit cards. It's the only way that they can really trace it. This is not done by surveys. This is actually done by consumer expenditure data. You can always click here, the little info here, and it tells you this is the data source coming from Esri, consumer data. Okay. Now I'm going to go back over here to site selection. Let's say you are opening a shoe store. Let's switch that out to apparel. And you want to go with shoes. You got women's clothing, men's clothing, and then shoes. Let's click on apply, and let's click on run analysis. All right. So taking a look here, guys, it doesn't seem like a lot, right? I mean, $687 a year in shoes definitely is not a lot. So let's move out of Doral. Let's go here and let's go to, say, 33139, which is South Beach. All right. Let's go and run the analysis in South Beach. All right. So the area known as Sunset Harbor, Miami Beach, right, which is this area right there, spends on average $1,090 a year on shoes. So a little less than $100 per month on shoes. Some of you will blow that number out of the water, right? Some of you will go shoe shopping every month and spend several $100s. But that's on average, guys. That's, the people who do spend, the people who don't spend, and then they just take it all and they average it out. That said, if you are marketing your shoe brand or your shoe store, you definitely want to do some prospecting in this area because this is a hot area. If you are opening your shoe store, you may want to open it close to this area here as well, because those are people who buy shoes. Who's number two? Belle Isle in Miami Beach, and that's right next door. That's right next door. These people here. Okay. And they're spending 1,061. If you want to see the full map, if you want to see everyone, you see this little thing that I keep on sliding back and forth. Let's go all the way to little. So from the least, right, to the most. And we have here now 529. This would be this area right here in South Beach spends the least amounts. Okay. So it's pretty cool. We're going to go back to site selection. Let's stay in South Beach, but now let's go with who they are. Who they are. All right. Absolutely, Jonathan. I see there on the chat that you got to run. That's fine. We're a little bit over our time, but I'm going to go ahead and share this recording with you guys a little later, okay? Good luck with your appointment. All right, so who they are and household sizes, incomes, net worths. Then we have financial assets, personal finance income, real estate debt, vehicle debt, marital status, education, and others. Okay. Now, I don't agree with race being here. I mean, it's something RPR needs to remove, like race, age, and gender. We are following fair housing here, and we should not target. But I kind of understand that if you want to target a specific age range, because you're opening, say, a clothing store that appeals to the younger generation, then you might want to know where they live. Okay, so I get that, but some of these are pretty old. We're gonna go with income. All right, let's go with income. And let's go with the average household income. You guys can do any age range or just do it all in general. You can also do income per capita. Income per capita means per person. You also can go with disposable income. All right, I'm just gonna go with all income here, and then let's go ahead and click on run analysis. And guys, incomes, the highest. All right, let's go with census block. Census block. And let's just throw this all the way to the least, and let's click on update. We got all of zip code 33139. Who's the highest earners? All right, so we have the highest earners right here, and that is this area right there, coming in at $365,984. And that's the average household income. Guys, Fisher Island is not part of 33139. I don't know if you guys knew that, but Fisher Island has its own zip code. All right, Fisher Island definitely should be in that range. Who's second? Second would be these islands right here, Palm and Hibiscus Island. Third right here is going to be Star Island, of course. Now, this is verifiable, right? Verifiable. I'm sorry. This is not Palm and Hibiscus Island. This was the Venetian Isles. This is Palm and Hibiscus Island, and this is Star Island. But these are verifiable incomes. Some of the people that live here who own their own businesses and those businesses are their source of income, you're not going to see them. This is the actual income to the person. And that's why you saw this little section of South Beach leading the way at number one. But I almost guarantee you, those that live in Star Island make the most amount of money because, I mean, it is the most expensive part of South Beach. Okay. But those people are actually making $312,000 household income per year. And then it drops off to 260. And, you guys, if you don't want South Beach, let's say that you are concentrating on an area in Plantation, Florida, right? Run analysis. So now we're going to see the entire area known as Plantation, City of Plantation in Broward County. Highest income is this section right here, all right, of Plantation, this section right there. So if you guys have clients looking to move into, the highest income producing area, or if you have clients that are looking to sell their goods and their services to the highest income producing area in Plantation, is this one right here. Okay. And you can always come here and then you can search for listings. You can search through all public records and do your prospecting that way. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing, guys. This is really, really cool. We're going to go ahead and click on home. By the way, that commercial site selection, what we've been doing, I mean, there's a lot that you can do. There's all of these, who they are, identify who the resident is, what they do professionally. So if you want to see, industry of employment and you want to see, show me all who work in education, or show me all who work in information technology or business or retail or even real estate. How many realtors do we have in a particular area? You can see that. I'm going to click on home and let's finish off with a commercial property. Let's go over here to where it says residential, switch it over to commercial. And let's say that we have a client looking for to buy this property. I'm going to put in here 245 Alcazar Avenue. All right. I'm going to put in here 245 Alcazar Avenue. This is the association's office in Coral Gables, right? And we want to go ahead and run a report. We want to come over here to where it says create a report. And we want to run what's called the trade area report. All right, we want to run the trade area report. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, we're going to click on run report. And within a minute, RPR is going to alert us that the report is ready. Now, your client who's interested in purchasing 245 Alcazar Avenue, or they're interested in maybe leasing the office space, wants to know the demographic in the neighborhood, right? We're gonna go ahead and click on download report and let's show it to you. All right, let me zoom in here so you guys can see it correctly. So for zip code 33134, all right, you're gonna see here the median household income, the median age, population, and the first dominant segment group in zip code 33134 is called urban chic. Now, RPR is going to give you the 5 most dominant groups of residents in the area, and they're gonna tell you what each of them stand for. Right? So number 1 comes in urban chic, then Southwestern families, Emerald City, Young and Restless, and City Lights. Trying to find out who lives in zip code 33134, number 1 group, and it represents 26.2% of this zip code. All right, who they are. Urban chic residents are professionals who live in a sophisticated, exclusive lifestyle. Half of all the households are occupied by married couple families, and about 30% are singles. Then you have information on the neighborhood. You have information on the social economic traits and the market profile. Then comes in number 2, Southwestern families. Once again, at 19.3% of the zip code are categorized as Southwestern families. Again, who they are and more information. Once you get through this information and understanding who lives in zip code 33134, then you're going to see the comparisons here. All right. So you have here numbers on population density. You have here trade area report. You have age comparisons. You have all this information, guys, that you guys can pull, these stats that you guys can pull for any zip code in any area in all of the US. In all of the US. Okay? So let's use RPR to our benefit when researching properties for our customers, especially our customers that are interested in commercial and that they sell retail, they sell goods. RPR is going to help us identify the best locations for them. All right. All right, guys. So we have reached the end of our training. Does anyone here have a question? I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. Anyone with questions? All right, no questions. So I assume that everyone enjoyed the training, guys. So thank you so much. Once again, we had a great attendance here. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today for our training. We will have another one next Tuesday and next Thursday. As a reminder, we do have classes every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, folks. So thank you once again. I want to wish everyone a great rest of your day and a great weekend. If you have any questions, please call me or text me or email me, and I'd be happy to assist you. All right. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you so much.